Hello, this is Aaron Wall, and this is an SEO video about discovering high-value keywords and finding out what keywords have greater relative value out of a keyword list. So there's a lot of lists out there of people selling top-paying AdSense lists and stuff like that, but the problems with those are that a lot of the AdSense bids aren't as high as the search bids, and then a lot of the keywords they list just have a high cost per click but almost no search volume. And then a lot of them don't account for match type. So they'll tell you that poker online is a top term when really online poker was the term that was a big payer. So when you're looking for the keywords that have a lot of value, the most precise way to figure out the value of the keyword is if you already rank for it and see how much value you can get out of it, because that shows you how much value it has for you and your business and your business model. However, already ranking for something is a process, and before you invest in that, there's other ways to get an idea of what keywords are worth targeting. One step before trying to rank for the terms, you could actually just buy a bunch of the keywords and set them to exact match type, and just see how often your ads show up, and if you can track conversions on that. And make sure you bid high enough that your ad's shown frequently and near the top of the search results, and make sure your budget's high enough that your ad's shown for most search queries. So even before that, you could start with a broad keyword list and kind of whittle down to figure out which ones are the most important, using tools provided by search engines as far as to the value of keywords. So there's a lot of public-facing keyword tools out there, and you can take like a list of top keywords that a competitor is ranking for like compete.com, or you can use Word Tracker, or a lot of the engines have keyword tools, or you could start with the keyword tool off SEO book and generate a list of keywords. So you generate that list of keywords, and this tool is powered by Word Tracker, and you can export it to CSV. Okay, so it's kind of hard to read it all, but anyway, these are the different keywords the tool brought back. So the cool thing about Microsoft Excel is if you have the most recent version, the 2007 version, they have a plugin called Ad Intelligence, and what you can do is you can highlight a list of keywords and use Ad Intelligence to say, hey, give me some monetization data. So now it's off querying Microsoft, and they're grabbing monetization data. Now Microsoft only has about, depending on where you are, a percent in some foreign markets, or in the U.S. maybe about 6 to 12% of the market share, depending on what vertical you're in. Now the data they pull back is like how many clicks the ad's getting, the number of impressions, average position, click-through rate, cost per click, match type, and date range. Well, the cool thing here is if you take cost per click, which is column G, and multiply it by clicks, which is column C, then you come up with the what Microsoft deems the value of that keyword to be to them. So let's multiply that together. So you go to formulas and product, and C comma G. Hit OK. And then you can sort these by value, largest to smallest. So then if we go back to the left here, we'll see the top 3 keywords are credit cards. That's because it gets a lot of volume, and what that means is it's actually the exact match, which is the exact phrase. Phrase match is any search that contains that phrase, and then broad match is kind of related phrases, like cards for credit or something like that. And it goes through and it lists the keywords and the value that they think they have, and then also, the relative value here. So what makes it so useful is you can see how quickly the keywords drop off, or how the match is like versus broad, exact, and phrase, and see the keyword distributions that way. Microsoft has another cool tool with their Ad Intelligence. Well, they have a lot of them actually. They have keyword suggestions based on competitor bidding strategy, words containing that core keyword, or category-based similarity. So all three of those are pretty useful. And then they have another cool feature where you can get the top spiky words, which are words that recently had a lot of search volume, or top frequently searched keywords. And with any of these, they have all these different categories you can go into. So you can do like education financing, and now it's querying them. And some of the categories return errors. Still a new product, so let me go back to this again then. So then they give you, frequently searched for keywords, their volume, and you could highlight this list just the same, and then pull in the monetization data, and then sort that by value. So that's another cool thing you can do. Google also has a tool which allows you to look at the value of keywords, and with Google's tool, you can put in like the exact match, phrase match, or broad match for all of them. And Google's tool is online. It's called Google Traffic Estimator. And you put your keyword list in, and then you you don't set any bid price or daily budget, because they'll assume you're willing to pay whatever you have to, and they'll show you pretty much kind of near what you'd have to pay to be the top guy or top ad player in that position. And then you click all countries, and then you can sort by estimated costs per day. And then here you're seeing how the keywords break down again. So you can use this Google data and this Microsoft data and use them to feed off each other too, to kind of triangulate data points. Get search volume from one keyword tool, and then compare that to data from Microsoft Ad Center and how much they think a keyword's worth, and Google AdWords and how much they think a keyword's worth. And between using all those different tools, you can get pretty broad keyword lists and find out the value of the words. So I hope you found this useful, and I'll create more videos soon on SEObook.com. Thank you.